there, this is Jackie from Little J Style. I'm going to do a quick airbrush makeup tutorial. And disclaimer, I am not a makeup person. I am not a makeup YouTuber. I'm just a person that does their makeup like the same every day. I like to look very natural, not too overdone. I don't like a lot of product on my face. So this is for just the everyday girl, not the professional, who might be interested in airbrush makeup. And people hear airbrush and they think, oh, professional, like you have to be a professional makeup artist to do airbrush makeup. And you totally don't. I just have the airbrush, what's it called, Luminess Air. It's the Legend system. This looks like this little system. And it's just made for the everyday makeup user. And I find that it is the most coverage for the least amount of product on my face. And what I mean by that is powder foundations, I think that's like the least coverage but the least amount of product. And then liquid foundations, you get that really like thick coverage, everything's covered, full coverage, but you kind of feel like you have a lot of product on your face. So I love airbrush because I don't feel like it's caked on. I have just really light makeup on, but it's the coverage I want, and I don't look too overdone. It doesn't make me look too old, but I don't look like I'm not wearing any makeup. So I think it's a really good in between. And don't be intimidated. I think airbrush people think, oh my gosh, I can't do that, but it really takes like 4 or 5 times using it, and you're totally comfortable. You get it. It's even coverage, you're just done. So I'm just a huge fan. So specifically today I'm kind of working with the full line, but they do have these new products that help the whole system go more smooth. So I used Porcelain, which is a primer, X Out, which is your under eye concealer, and then Instant Eraser, which is your concealer for trouble spots. And then the rest of the line is your liquid foundations, and then blush and bronzer. And there's all kinds of other stuff, but this is the line that I use from Luminess. Okay, so in this tutorial I'm not going to go through like how far away to hold the brush and specifically how to use it. It's just, they have this whole like guide that comes with it. I don't need to get into all that. It's really helpful to just follow the instructions on the guide, and then you'll get what I'm doing. But this is just a demonstration of what I would do every morning. I keep this on my counter. It just sits there, and then every morning I do my makeup. Takes a few seconds to clean it. I'm done. So this is my everyday, easy, every girl can do it, airbrush makeup routine. Okay, so let's just launch right into this. I've got no makeup on, just kind of moisturizer, the normal kind of blank canvas that you would start with. So I'll just get my hair out of my face. Okay, so you start with Porcelain. This is a primer, and you do 4 to 6 drops and spray all over the face, so it just kind of helps everything lay really well, stay on, that kind of thing. Makes you look porcelain. So we'll start with that. I just put like, I don't know, 5 or 6 drops in there, and then you do all over. Okay, and you know when you're done because you can hear it. You can kind of hear the reservoir empty, and there's no more product going on your face. You can kind of feel it as it goes on your face. So that's how I know, okay, it's empty, time for my next step. So I did the Porcelain, and now I do, these go in any order, but I have X Out and Instant Eraser. So X Out is your under eye circle concealer. So, and these you want to shake really well before you use it. I already shook all of them, so you should be okay, but I'll start with X Out. I have some pretty gnarly under eye circles. I always do. I just wake up with them. So this goes next. It's the X Out. It's 2 to 4 drops. Obviously you're just doing underneath your eyes, so you don't need to go nuts, but tip on this, less is more. You might think that you're not putting a lot on, but you are. So as you're getting used to the airbrush system, just do a little bit, take a step back, look, see how much is on there, because you're not going to feel like you're putting a lot on. With typical makeup, you know, you're putting it on, you can tell immediately, but this you really have to say, okay, how much do I have on here before I add more? So we'll do the X out now. Okay, and I'm already out of product, so the amount that they tell you to do is kind of a good gauge. If you put 6 drops in there and you do 6 drops, it's gonna be way too much. So I just did I think I did like 3 drops, and it pretty much covered everything I need covered. What is that? Okay, so next is Instant Eraser, and this is concealer. So I have some trouble spots. I have like some scarring right here, zit developing, I'm just kind of red. So this is just your everyday concealer. I don't think it has a color, it's just called Instant Eraser. And this, it tells you on the bottle usually how much to use. This says 4 to 6 drops. I'm just going to do 4. I don't have a ton to cover, and like I said, less is always more. So let's do some instant erasing. Okay, and it's all gone. So, and this might seem really light, but when you cover with your foundation, it'll all blend and it'll be fine. So I just kind of like lightened up my trouble spots. And so now I'm gonna do my foundation. I use the Silk foundation. There are 4 different kinds. Let me remember which ones they are. They're Mystic, Silk, Ultra, and Matte foundations. I'm using the Silk right now. I find that it's really good for me. It's sheer to medium coverage with a smooth and silky finish. So I like it to look really natural, normal, everyday face, not too made up. Ultra, Matte, and Mystic. I have tried Ultra. I can't remember. The website goes into all the different kind of features of each foundation, but I've tried that one. It works really well as well. I like it. I just happen to be using Silk right now. So I'm using shade 2 and 3. These are the little bottles. They have 2 sizes. This is the 7.5 milliliter, and then they have them in this size as well. So the little guys and the big guys, I just have these for the Silk, and honestly it's going to take so long to run out of these because you just use a few drops at a time. And I combine 2 and 3 to make my perfect shade depending on how tan I am. So it's just going to take so long to even go through these. But if you know it's a foundation you love, get the big one. Whatever floats your boat. So I have the Silk. It says 4 to 8 drops. I combine them, like I said, a little bit of light, a little bit of dark, depending on my skin tone at the moment. So I'll just put it right here in my little reservoir and then get going. Okay, and the way you mix these is you turn it on and you hold the tip and it will bubble. You probably can't see that and I don't want to tip it, but it bubbles and it mixes the 2 colors. Okay, and now I'm ready to do foundation. So less is more. You want to do really even, light layers. So always layers. So do a really light, even layer, kind of let it sit a second. Do another one if you feel like you need it. I always like just really sheer. That's why I do airbrush. So remember, take a step back, see where you're at. Don't just keep piling it on. Okay, I've kind of run out, but I feel like I need a little bit more, so you just put a little bit more in the reservoir. It's no big deal. Okay, and at the end, if I don't pull down on the trigger, it's just air coming out, so I'll just kind of make sure it's all dry. Alrighty, and then as you're first starting out, you might feel like you put a little too much on, or it got a little splotchy. It takes a few times to kind of get used to it, so if you, like, this is just when you're first starting out, I don't need to do this right now, but say I put a little too much on or whatever, you could just blend it out a little. Like, oh, maybe I put a little too much right here. Just fix anything you need to with a brush, because it's just foundation. It's basically liquid foundation. That's all you have to think of it as. So you can just kind of fix any little issues you had while you were going. Okay, and now you finish off with blush and bronzer. This is sort of advanced. You don't have to use the Airbrush blush and bronzer. Airbrush, blush, and bronzer. Whoa. It takes a little getting used to because it can get very heavy-handed really quickly with Airbrush. You have to just really lightly apply. So I'm going to do the blush and a little bit of bronzer, and I'll show you how it looks. Okay, so I did a little bit of blush. The camera doesn't show it so well. In person, it looks just like really natural, just a little bit of blush. I don't want to put any more on. I'll look a little bit overdone. But in person, it looks, you can really see the pink. Let's see, can you see? Maybe? Okay, and bronzer I like to put on after. And I really go light with this, like maybe 2 drops, and just so light to just give a little bit of color. Okay, that's basically it. So that's my foundation. Cleaning and being done with, when you're done with the machine every day, you clean it. It comes with this little water thingy and you put the water in the reservoir, and I would do this at my sink. I'd typically be in my bathroom, and so I'd fill it, pour it out to get the top part in the reservoir, but for the rest you turn it on and you do this, you pull the handle back all the way in the sink. So you can see that's like cleaning it out. Okay, so you just kind of repeat that a couple times to get everything out of the actual compressor. Okay. And then I would take a tissue once I'm done. This isn't a tissue, but a tissue, and I just stick my pinky in there and kind of clean out the inside. You have to be really gentle, don't be too harsh on it, but I just kind of clean out the inside, and then it's done. I put it right there on my sink. I'm done with my foundation. So that is the basics of the airbrush system. I'm going to finish the rest of my makeup and then show you the final. Okay, I hope that tutorial was helpful. That's kind of what I do every day. A little bit of details I wanted to give you about the Luminess system. They have a couple different kinds. This is called the compressor. So they have a few different systems that come with different compressors. This is just your everyday, every person can use it, starter level compressor, and this is what I've used. I want to say I've had it for like 2 years. This is not like they just sent it to me and I'm using it. I've used this for a long time and it's still working great. I have no issues with it. So it's called the Legend system. I have it on my phone or I would not remember, but it's called the Legend system. Retail for, it's a kit, so you don't necessarily just buy the compressor, you buy the kit. And the kit comes with the compressor and the stylus. Whoa, I got hung up there. Compressor and the stylus. It comes with 2 bottles of Ultra foundation. So in this tutorial I use Silk, but it comes with Ultra. That's kind of like the one everybody would like. It comes with 1 blush, 1 glow, which I don't have here. It's like a primer kind of brightening, and then 1 moisturizer primer. So that's the whole kit. There's more details about this online. I'll leave it in the description, but that's retail $249. Yes, $249. And then I have a code, I will leave in the description. Use my code and you get 25% off. I think anything on the site, but more specifically the whole kit, which makes it $187. And it's just, you're done. That has everything you need. And you can always add on more, like you could add on the XOW or the Porcelain, that kind of thing, and you'd get 25% off those too. So you get the whole kit, everything you need, and use my code, you get 25% off. And that's pretty amazing deal for an airbrush system, even a starter one. So I think that's all I wanted to talk about with that. I'm a huge fan. Let me know if you have questions. You can leave them as a comment. I'm really good about responding. I will let you know anything I can about it, but their website is so helpful. They have videos, they have this whole book. It's like a serious book that tells you all about how to do it, and it's such an easy thing to learn. I was intimidated, and then I did it a few times and I was like, oh, this is easy, no problem. So, and I am a beginner. I am like not a makeup person. I'm just a normal, use the same makeup every day person. So if I can do it, you can do it, anyone can do it, and I just love it. So thank you for watching. I'm trying to do at least a video a week, so subscribe if you would like to continue seeing videos, and there's a little bell you can press so you'll be notified when I post the videos. I know YouTube's a little funny sometimes, it might not show you everything, but I hope you liked this video. Thank you for watching. Give it a thumbs up if you liked it. Thanks!